Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Avini Vibes UK. So, whether you're joining us for the first time or you're a returning guest, we're absolutely delighted to have you here with us today. Before we get started, just a quick reminder. At Avini, we make no medical claims. Our products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or medical condition. Everything shared this evening is for educational purposes only, and any testimonials or personal experiences are those of the individual sharing them. So if we don't make medical claims, what's the philosophy behind what we do? And as our Chief Science Officer, Rick Dyche, often says, a cleaner, healthier body fixes itself. And that philosophy is at the heart of everything we do at Avini. And tonight is an opportunity to listen, learn, ask questions, and discover more about our products, the science behind them, our business opportunity, and the vision of the company. So we hope that this evening will give you a better understanding of Avini, our products, and our community. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Everybody's so quiet and everybody looks so serious. Hi. Oopsie daisy. So firstly, I'd like to introduce some of the people that we have with us tonight. We have Carol Witt. Want to say hi, Carol? Carol's supporting us over from Florida. And
hi, everyone. Welcome
and we
to
have
Christine.
UK. Yes. And we have Christine with a man behind her.
Yes, so I was fussing with my backgrounds and I pulled up that's my son, his background. So normally I had the same background as Carol, but anyway, thank you, Carol, for doing the tech. Thank you, Suzette, and everybody for being here.
Thank you, Christine. And we have a special guest with us tonight, Lisa Dalessandro. She's going to be speaking to us just a little bit later about cellular health. Isn't that right, Lisa?
Yes. Thank you for having me here today.
Absolutely privileged to be here with you tonight. So thank you for coming. And where are you from in the States? Please tell us where you're from.
I'm from the Hudson Valley in New York.
In New York, okay.
Yep. Living close by to Christine.
Yeah, okay. So thank you. Thank you again for joining us tonight. And I'd like to give a warm welcome to all of our visitors here today. We've got Douglas, Asmara, Daddy Cool. Nice to see you here with us. And Junie, good to see you with us, cuz. And who am I? So for those of you who haven't had the absolute pleasure of meeting me yet, my name is Suzette, and it's my privilege to host Avini Vibes UK. A little bit more about me. I'm naturally curious. I ask lots of questions, and I love bringing people together. In fact, if you've ever been on the receiving end of one of my questions, you'll know I don't stop until I understand the answer. And thankfully, that's exactly why we've invited our brilliant guest speaker this evening. My own journey with Avini started through curiosity. I wanted to learn more, ask questions, and understand the science for myself. And along the way, I discovered a wonderful community. I had fascinating conversations, and I saw a vision that really resonated with me. And that's why I created Avini Vibes UK, a place where people can come together, learn, ask questions, and make informed decisions in a relaxed and welcoming environment. So whether you're here for the products, the business opportunity, or simply because you're curious, I hope you leave this evening feeling even more informed, encouraged, and inspired. And with that said, I would like to bring to the fore our guest speaker, Lisa. So Lisa, thank you for being with us again. And over to you. Thank you.
Oh, well, thank you so much for your beautiful introduction and having me here today. Um, I am a certified nutritional practitioner, coach, and energy healer, and I've been in my own business space for 30 years. It includes lifestyle framework that's focused on food and frequency medicine, mindset, mobility, building mental muscles, and metabolisms to live younger longer. And today I really consider myself a hope dealer by knowing the healing journeys that I've been through have helped countless others take the same natural approaches, what I consider the simpler, not harder way to feel much better, gain energy, clarity, stress less, and reset from chronic illness. So, if Carol, I've done a longer presentation in the past, so I kind of put together a few slides, and Carol was going to share them a little bit while I'm speaking. So we'll just start off with her sharing.
Okay, let me know when you can see my screen, okay? Oh, let's see. Hold on 1 second. Okay, there we go. Can you see it? Everybody see this?
Yes. Yes,
Yes.
thank
Okay.
you, Carol. So I've done some longer presentations about unleashing your healing potential, and it's not about woo-woo. This is where, again, advanced science meets nature and what we know about quantum physics and all of that. So if you want to go to the next slide, Carol. Um,
I love
so
this. Our superhero.
Yes. So I believe awareness is where change begins, but it isn't what changes your life. It's the changes happen when when we say to yourself, enough is enough, you take that disciplined action and you choose differently. So I just want to go over a little bit again about a quick story on how I found Avini, because that's a little cell defender in my hand there, and the company. And all of my Avini experience was I've always known about heavy metal toxicity doing hair mineral analysis scans. I worked in conjunction with a chiropractor. Detoxing was part of my practice, and I did all the detoxes available, what I knew 30 years ago, from coffee enemas to castor oil packs. In my wellness spa, I had ionic foot baths, infrared saunas, all of that. I work with people with the gut, brain, liver axis, but today we know it's what we do consistently at a cellular level that matters. So I had thought I knew zeolites too, and they were great for gut cleansing. And of course, I'm getting a distraction here. If you can hopefully, Michael, sorry,
It happens
don't usually happen, Michael.
Huh?
I'm on a webinar.
live as a
Sorry.
guest.
So alive. So anyway, but I did. I thought I knew zeolites. They were great for gut cleansing, but I didn't. And it took me getting a mold exposure to learn firsthand about these progressive 1-2 punch products after a mold toxicity that threw my health off balance. So my cognition was tanking. There was so much inflammation in my head, my eyes. I had terrible virus ringing in the ears, all of it. And it continues through all my years of being aligned with these wellness tools and cutting edge products. It amazes me how the most gentle, less invasive solutions really do have the biggest impact. So I found so simple and so effective for all those symptoms I struggled with. So after 2 to 3 months, I learned how these two perfected minerals are the eliminators for the toxic burden and the festering infections I had by the results. My mental cognition and clarity improved, my health and energy rebounded. My eye health has never been better before, and there was a lot of symptoms I had. I could not even go out on a cloudy day without sunglasses. My eyes would tear inside and out in different stores, out in nature. And then from what I found from my bioresonance scans, I have the MTHFR gene variant, and it has disappeared now for almost a year, and that's huge. So a lot of people don't understand another under the radar disadvantage is having our genes work against us. And up to 40 to 60% of the population carries a type of dirty gene variant. And it compromises the liver's ability to detoxify and messes with our mental health. So there are two types of MTHFR genes, a C6 and an A12. And these MTHFR, I cannot even pronounce the word. I always call it the mother gene, but it has to do with how folate converts into its biological active form, 5-methylfolate. And it's a critical process involved in detoxification, DNA repair, neurotransmitter production, hormone metabolism, energy production, glutathione production, which is our master antioxidant, and immune regulation. And you can just think down regulation. So for some individuals, it does contribute to elevated homocysteine levels, which is like a wildfire of inflammation within, even neuroinflammation, because if our gut is leaking, so is our brain. So we have a reduced capacity for detoxifying, increased oxidative stress, lower glutathione production means poorer immunity, and really a greater sensitivity to environmental stressors. So this just deepened my passion for helping others achieve healthier, cleaner, and less stressed bodies using simple holistic solutions consistently. And I can tell you it's all about what we do consistently and our lifestyle choices. So, we've seen a big change in the last 30 years. And so you know you're in the right place with what Avini has to offer because we're seeing such an unprecedented rate of chronic fatigue, autoimmune diseases, anxiety, depression, metabolic dysfunction, hormone imbalance, digestive disorders, neurodevelopment disorders, cancer. And many people ask, "Oh, what's wrong with my body?" And your body's not broken, what we hear a lot of people saying now, but it's just what is preventing us from functioning as designed. So I know most of us, and will, I know I will continue to stand on this hill, that it is the toxic body burden and nutrient deficiencies. And due to this toxic load we're born with, and the insult of living in this overly toxic and stressed society, the liver, this organ that is so overlooked and overburdened and unsupported, is working so hard to clean up the mess. And when it can't filter out and metabolize the daily toxic exposures, which can be hundreds of chemicals daily, it sends these heavy metals, these VOX, environmental chemicals, back into the bloodstream, and they land in our fat cells, the brain, the bones, and the tissues. So, um, just when the body is just overwhelmed by plastics, pesticides, industrial pollutants, all these food additives, artificial fragrances, processed foods, it just tries to protect the body, by locking these toxins inside fat cells. So many people feel the struggle, and it's so real. And these obesogens are chemical compounds that causes the body to make more fat and store it as fat. And they disrupt hormone and metabolism, forcing the body to create more fat. So yes, every bite, every sip, every toxic chemical, every synthetic hormone and prescription creates a body burden and dirty blood and an internal environment that hosts pathogens, candida, mold, parasites to thrive. So, this is where, we need to get empowered, and this awareness comes into place because your body is not just chemical, it's electrical, magnetic, and communicative by design. So food is certainly fuel, and fuel as information, not just calories. It's your best medicine or worst poison. And movement is important too. Um, but I just believe um, we don't win this war on wellness by hoping life slows down. You win it by choosing yourself and the choices you make today, and even in this chaos, especially in this fast-paced, stressed world we're living, because it's hard to live more of a balanced life, and it can be far from reality of what it is. And I don't think many would disagree there. So I just think that we've been kind of looking at health backwards. The way I run my practice and way I've seen it is for decades, medicine and healthcare have largely kind of focused on symptoms, diagnosis, treatment, but symptoms are not often the problem. Symptoms are signals that the body's language just a functional response. Your body is trying constantly to process all this information. Pain, inflammation, mucus, skin eruptions, fevers are forms of communication, and it's the signaling where it becomes burdened. And I don't know if you can go on to the next screen, Carol, but
I can.
really, fatigue is an energy deficit. Your anxiety, your nervous system is on overload. Bloating is a digestive dysfunction. Brain fog means impaired communication between the gut and the brain. Hormone imbalances are disrupted regulation of the gut and the liver, and kind of skin eruptions provide an alternative exit when those internal channels are overloaded. So, yes, your body's not broken. It's all about this cellular communication. So, every breath, heartbeat, every movement, every emotion, every stress response is part of this extraordinary living network. So, our human holistic design is based on combined communicative network. So, it's the nervous system, our endocrine system, immune, circulatory, digestive system, as well as the emotional body that's always interacting. So, every function is dependent on that, and that system is connected highly to the gut. Microbial imbalance contribute to increased inflammation, neurotransmitter disruption, poor nutrient disruption or absorption, I should say, immune dysregulation, hormonal imbalances, and cells do communicate through hormones, neurotransmitters like serotonin, dopamine, GABA, which is mostly produced in the gut, and all that information is going north to the brain. Cytokines are the way the immune system is responding, and there's different electrical gradients from the cell's membrane of what gets into the cells and what doesn't get into the cells. And neurons are like the nervous system's way of communicating, rapid communication throughout the body. So disease kind of often represents this communication breakdown. And that's why self-awareness and listening to our body signals can be so powerful. But the body, well, it's always trying to adapt to survive. And I just believe, and I think you might as well, modern life is just kind of weakening the very biology that the human body was designed to thrive in. So if you want to go to the next screen, it's probably a little hard to see, but for thousands of years, we lived in rhythm with nature. We moved constantly. We rose with the sunlight and rested in the darkness. We breathed fresh air, lived in community. We touched the earth and we ate real food from living mineral-rich soils. So we now compare that to modern life. Why we love Avini. Not only are we born with the toxic genetic burden, but we're injected, intoxicated in a way our ancestors never faced before. And pesticides are sprayed on our food, glyphosate punching holes in our gut, artificial ingredients and preservatives, microplastics that I talked about, those synthetic fragrances, cleaning chemicals, beauty products. There's more fake foods with chemicals than there is providing nourishment. And again, the human body was kind of really never designed for this toxic exposure and overstimulation and interference that we have today. So until these toxins are removed, even the best nutrition can't restore balance. You can't out nutrition, out supplement, out exercise heavy metals and toxins that have accumulated in the tissues. You just can't. Um, so I don't know if many people know how disruptive heavy metals are in the body, and these toxins. They directly interfere with our gene expression, our protein synthesis, our cellular signaling, and our detox pathways. They dehydrate the body and they compete with the necessary mineral uptake, enzyme dysfunction, even called, again, digestive distress, like we've never seen before. And they're directly linked to thyroid disorders, autoimmune, adrenal, kidney, and liver stress. So every mental health and neurological issue, from poor cardiovascular health, low energy, immunity, skin rashes, and inflammation, aches, pains. All of these struggles go back to root cause of heavy metals, toxic exposure. And when our cells are being blocked from using hormones and nutrients properly and efficiently the way they should, again, it's disrupting healing and repair. So this is, again, our way to unleash our vitality, cleaner cells, clearer communication and vitality. And if I believe this, that if we want to live longer, younger, and have that mindset shift, this happens by choosing what your body needs over what modern medicine can give you. And root cause healing gives the body kind of what it requires. It's the bridge to what the body needs to come back to better balance and be able to fix itself. And my favorite 1, 2, 3 punch products that support this cellular well-being, again, are our cell defender. Christine, do you want me to answer your question?
Yes,
Well,
yes.
I was going to ask you about that. Why is Cell Defender such a good mechanism to help clean the body from all this horrific, information that we're bombarded with? So
It,
I know you're going to go into it, but I just I had somebody just text me and says, can she address Cell Defender? I said, of course she's going to. So,
yes, I
yeah,
mean, this is, I mean,
thank
again, Rick has formulated this brilliant, brilliant formulation simply with the way he's micronized it. He's made it so small enough in a liquid state that is able to go through our bloodstream and then our lymphatic system and, really pull out and cage up these heavy metals. And he, pull them from our cells, our tissues as it's going through the bloodstream. It's, changing the pH and more toxins are dropping in. So this is the importance of doing this consistently, because it'll go through our bloodstream every 4 to 6, within 4 to 6 hours. And we're simply taking the burden off our liver. We're urinating it out and, you know, eliminating such a toxic burden from our cells and what's been stored in our tissues. And it removes that interference, because we know that inflammation and toxins block our cellular receptor sites. And that's where we're not getting, the nutrients to go in and the toxins come out. They're kind of locked. Our cells are in a lockdown, but not with our cell defender, which is the most simplest thing to just squirt into our mouths throughout the day and periodically to reduce that toxic body burden. And then from the same aspect, he's activated it. So he's electrically, magnetically learned how to spin it and clean it up, making it the purest zeolite on the planet. And others are, they have, the residue of, because they're nature's magnet, of even the cellular exhaust from, the mining sites from these diesel engines in them. And, that's, you're not getting the amount of cleansing that we can do with Avini's Cell Defender. So I love it. It's brilliant. And then our nano silver, that's activated and pretty much done the same, aspect. Our cell defender works on taking care of all the living pathogens and parasites and viruses and mold as well. So taking these two in conjunction, took down the infection load. And I can tell you from my own experience, how using that, and I have to say, our plus balance, because it wasn't until I started with the plus balance, and that plus balance helps our hormones and our liver health so much. So the plus balance, used in conjunction, it helps turn fat solubles into water solubles with our liver. And once I started to incorporate that, that is when, like in my third to fourth month, I passed liver flukes and I've done many cleanses and never really saw the parasite load that I saw on the biofilms that I passed using those three products. And that's when I had noticed that my MTHFR gene variant has, kind of taken a turn and is not showing up in any of my scans anymore since those. So my 1, 2, 3 punch products I would say are either Cell Defender, Nano. For some, Immunity, I think, is something we all need since I have my own autoimmune issues. I'm non-celiac gluten sensitive. That's where I dove more into nutrition 20 years ago and learned about liver gut health. And um, Immunity is another beautiful synergistic composition of 7 mushrooms that helps modulate our immune system, which so many need because more people have autoimmune conditions and have that hyperactive immune system as well as a hyperactive nervous system. So it really helps down regulate with the saffron that it has in it as well. Um, it helps with our moods, our anxiousness, and that hypervigilant immune response that we get. So I can never decide which of the third products because we want to start simple. So I'm a big believer, even if you're just starting with Cell Defender and you're doing a 90-day clean start, and keep it to simple like that. That's a good place to do this and really, highly cleanse the body and then work up to the nano silver, or if you do have an autoimmune, this immunity. And if you're not supporting the liver, right after that is the plus balance. I mean, it's another beautiful thing. Most people, when I work with them in my practice too, I believe in methylated B vitamins. There's such an important aspect to our healing and the methylation process. Using B vitamins that are in their pure form. And this also is not just for, better brain health, energy. They actually work in conjunction with the detox pathways of the liver. So I really believe and recommend methylated B vitamins to those people who really want to start at the baseline of foundational. Um, so with that,
Thank you so much, Lisa.
you're welcome.
For
You're
that.
welcome. So if you
That
have,
was
I mean,
that was
anybody,
extremely informative, very
okay.
detailed. It felt hurried, and I know that you're totally conscious of the time. However, are you open to take a few questions if anybody has any questions?
No?
Wow. No
Did you hear
questions.
me? Did you hear me, Lisa?
That means you
Oh,
did a great job.
Yes.
Did you hear what I said?
no, I didn't. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I said, are you open to take a few
Oh,
questions?
oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah?
I was waiting to hear if anybody had any questions. Sorry.
Yeah. So does anyone have any questions for Lisa?
If
Don't be
if
shy.
you have questions, raise your hand so that I can unmute you. Okay, I see Derek. Hold on, Derek. There you go. Okay, unmute.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. You really seem to be stressing a lot with the detoxing of the body. Um, see, again, it seems this is something that is obviously under our nose, but we don't know it exists. Is
Right.
that correct?
Absolutely. Absolutely. We just don't realize, even when we know today, we're born, each generation is getting worse and worse. They're born with more of a genetic toxicity. So when I started working with detoxing the body 20 years ago. We had known back then there was 200 known toxins in the umbilical cords that were passed on through utero from mamas to their babies. And now think about, I know here in the States, I mean, there's a lot more chemicals that we have that have been approved, but it's everywhere. I mean, it's the air we're breathing, the water we're drinking, the way the wind is shifting and blowing. But it is in a lot of our food systems because everybody's food system has come to a little bit more of so much processed foods. And these processed foods are literally, every processed food has heavy metals and lead in it. Even if it doesn't have some of the artificial preservatives and ingredients, there's no getting away with, a lot of the genetically modified stuff. And again, the herbicides, pesticides that we're learning has been really just implemented for so long into, our soils, our produce, and it's a shame. It's really sad.
Are you raw?
No. Mm-mm.
No. Okay.
Some, for some people it's very good. A lot of raw foods bother people's digestive system. They cannot digest a lot of raw foods. Today I believe that it's everything in moderation. But yes, I follow an anti-inflammatory diet, and when you're healing the gut, sometimes it is good to avoid, you know, some of the animal products, especially like eggs, which are known to
Well, you've
carry
gone.
viruses and pathogens and stuff like that.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
I
Yeah,
couldn't
we
hear
can hear
what you
you.
said. You disappeared.
Oh, okay. Um, but yes, the more raw foods we can incorporate, yes, they're full of more nutrients and enzymes and things like that. But for some people, they may struggle with digesting them and breaking them down because unfortunately, a lot of people's stomach acids don't have the capacity to break a lot of the cellulose down from from produce.
Right. Okay. Thanks.
Thank
Wow.
you, Carol.
Yeah, so Lisa, is it true that taking Cell Defender will actually have the things that we take outside of Avini products will work better because we're cleaning out the things that don't allow it to come in and work the way it's supposed to work? Is that true?
Absolutely. That's why I do suggest a 90-day start with Cell Defender because, it will go into our gut as well, and kind of help take down the interference and um, all of the toxic load that interferes with our nutrient absorption. So it's even helping your mitochondria, so you'll gain. That's why people feel so much energy sometimes when they start taking it, and they start sleeping better and they gain from the clarity. And I can tell you, for me in my early 40s, I thought I was going down Dementia Boulevard, and that's where I learned about the gut-brain connection and learned to heal my gut. But I was also taking things like nootropics for even greater clarity and neuroplasticity of the brain, and I don't have to take those anymore. So we
Right.
find that the more the Cell Defender works, that you don't need as many supplements as some people who have autoimmune conditions need. And I've heard Rick say that it does even help medications work better. Yeah.
Yeah, thank
Thank
you for
you,
that,
Lisa.
Lisa. Thank you. Does anyone else have any questions?
No.
Oh, Amy, did you raise your hand? Couldn't tell. Let me unmute you and see if you had a question.
I didn't mean to. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
No problem.
All right, thank you, Lisa, for that. Was a tremendous, tremendous presentation, and thank you so much for answering those questions so thoroughly.
Oh,
And
Yeah.
yeah,
again,
so
thanks
thank
for
you.
having me here. I really appreciate it.
It's been an absolute privilege. Please do come again. So can we give Lisa and Avini Vibes UK warm welcome? So if this is the first time we've done a Zoom meeting, this is how we clap online.
Thank you.
Wonderful,
Suzette,
thank you. Yes, Carol.
I want to actually share a testimony that I haven't shared with a lot of people.
Yes,
And
please.
because I think that you want to know what being intentional with these products can do for you. So I had surgery last month, and it was it was a 7-hour surgery, okay, to remove bad cells. And but I knew I had gone through it back 3 years ago. And so I knew, had an idea of what I might be going through, which was a lot of pain because I can't take pain pills. So I want you guys to know, I decided that I was going to have a blissful experience this time around. And so what I did was, a month before my surgery, I started dropping cell defender in the area. I started spraying nano. I was doing everything I could possibly do inside of getting myself ready. If I'm going to have a blissful experience, I got to be proactive in making sure I'm ready to go through this. So I got to tell you guys, 7-hour surgery, no pain pills. And it was a blissful experience, because I got to tell you that these products that I use to get myself ready made a huge difference. Now, on the 17th of this last month, I went and got my stitches out. They were blown away by how clear it was, how the redness had gone, how no inflammation was happening. And they actually said you could have come way earlier to get them removed. Wow. Now, fast forward, I have another appointment next week. And I know when I go in, they're going to just be blown away, because you can hardly even see the stitches any longer where they were. Guys, you want to get that if you are going to have surgery, be proactive, take care of yourself beforehand and after. And you will not have the experience of a long recovery. And that is what I'm so thankful for. I don't have this long recovery. Oh, and by the way, they were saying I would probably have to have skin graft. I didn't have to. So therefore, I recovered so much quicker. Oh my goodness. And I can use my arms completely. It's so amazing.
Nice.
That's fantastic. Carol is frozen, but that's an absolutely fantastic testimony. And I can actually
myself today. Amazing.
You froze there for a second there, Carol.
Oh,
I was just about to say that I can actually support what you said, because while Carol was in surgery, she was texting us.
I was.
While she was in surgery, she's like, "It's not surgery. It's been great. It's like, this woman is crazy." But that is the power of the products, right? Power of the products. And what you created in terms of having a blissful experience. Christine, what would you like to share?
Well, I'd just like to share, my husband came down with something on Saturday. He didn't feel good. Craig never gets sick. Honestly, he's never missed a day of work since he's 2. And he woke up yesterday morning, he didn't feel so great. His stomach was rumbling. But of course, I used everything on him, and I started protecting myself, Carol. I'm getting on a plane tomorrow morning, 6:30 a.m. to go to Denver, Colorado to a horse show. So you bet, like, it is about preventative. It's keeping the body clean. But I felt this little scratchy thing starting. I'm fine today. So I love what you said, declare and preventative, right? We see on Avini Vibes US, we've been on for 3 years and everybody's getting younger. So stay with us. Lisa, thank you. Carol, Suzette, great job.
Yeah, thank you so much. I like the idea of staying young. So stay in tune with Avini Vibes UK. You will continue to remain the same youthful self, if not look younger. So I'm conscious of the time. So I will ask if there's any questions before I close. Is there anything anyone wanted to share before I close? No? Beautiful. Beautiful. So as we come to the end of this evening, thank you so much for spending your time. You could have been anywhere doing anything. Thank you for choosing to spend your time with us here on Avini Vibes UK. I hope that you've left this evening more informed than you were than when you came into the meeting. And whoever you were invited by, so if you're invited by someone, please reconnect with that person tonight or tomorrow, because they'll be delighted to answer any questions that you may have, hear your thoughts, and help you decide what, if any, next steps is right for you. So as you've been listening this evening, also, you may have found yourself thinking of a friend, a family member, or a colleague who would enjoy hearing this information too. If so, we'd love you to invite them to join you next week on Avini Vibes UK. We believe that information is best experienced, conversations change lives, and community makes the journey even better. Thank you once again for being part of Avini Vibes UK. Have a wonderful evening. Take good care of yourselves, and we look forward to welcoming you again next week, same time, Avini Vibes UK at 7 p.m. UK time. Take care, everyone, and thank you once again for sharing your evening and your time with us. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Thank
Bye,
you,
everyone.
Suzette.
Bye, thank you.